Welcome to Nana Podcast. This is a family podcast where we discuss everyday family issues. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast.
The great thing about getting older is that you don't lose all the ages you've been. That's a quote by Madeleine Lego.
Mm-hmm.
When you are young, you are full of life, energy, and ambitions. You have that desire to be successful. You want to be powerful. You want to be famous. Everything around you is roses. Life is full of it's a bed of roses. Everything that you touch turns to gold. You remember celebrating your birthdays. Some people, nowadays, big, lavish cars. They want their birthday to be
something to remember.
The best in the town. Some with the fancy, big cakes, birthday cakes, and all that. Especially when you're in your 20s. So as soon as you're getting a bit older, get into your 40s, things starts to change a bit. Your birthdays, celebrations start to have less meaning to you. You don't really put any attachment to it anymore.
Yeah.
The celebrations, everything start going down. You understand what I mean? Because things are changing. Life is changing. A lot of things around you. You're getting old. All those things that used to be important. It's becoming less important to you.
Yeah, and it's true. Also, you have to remember, as you're getting to your 60s, it looks like nobody cares how old you are. Nobody wants to lose their youthful age. Having that thought of getting old brings deep fear and shivering to a lot of people. But that fear can lead to a lot of things. It can affect someone's social life to an extent that their personal life is affected also.
Yeah, the social lives, everything. They stop going out. They don't like to miss out people. Do you understand? They sometimes, like you said, affect their personal life as well.
Yeah.
You understand?
But why do you think all elderly people are afraid of getting old?
It's not only about elderly people. A lot of people are getting scared of getting old. You said earlier that nobody wants to lose their youthfulness. So to start living, some of them, when you're old, you start having those health issues. You start having some niggles, sicknesses here and there. You understand? Nobody wants to see that. It brings shivering. You said already that it brings shivering. It brings fear into a lot of people. So to start having health issues that are normally associated with age, that fear might sound so strange to some people. It might sound strange to a lot of people. They will be like, people afraid of getting old. They might ask those kind of questions. The fear of getting old might sound strange, like I said earlier, to some people. And there are reasons why.
Yeah, there are loads of reasons why. And moving on from that, let's look at some reasons why some people are afraid of getting old. One of those reasons is the fear of living alone. They're afraid of staying by themselves in the future and having no one by their side. And it will cause the person a lot of anxiety because of the fear of being alone forever in the future. Also, it can give many elderly people mental health problems because they think about it so much.
Most times you see, we discuss in one of our podcasts, we said about elderly people being alone. Remember, one of our podcasts, we discussed about why children don't take care of their elderly ones when they're old. Maybe the partner died. Maybe
maybe they don't have any children.
Maybe that person didn't have a partner, and they grew up maybe a single parent, and all that. So when they get old and fragile, people will start like, you've seen them, the way they struggle, the way they things around them, them being alone. So other people that seeing them, how those people suffer when they are alone. Sometimes you see some of your in your neighborhood, you saw some women or some men, they are alone in the house, they have this struggle. So the younger people, when they see those elderly ones, it brings shiver. Do you understand? They don't want to be like them. So having that fear of being alone in old age, do you understand what I mean? That's what it is. So when they're thinking like, no, they don't want to get old.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to live alone or just on their own. Do you understand? That fear of being alone, it's affecting a lot of people, even mentally as well. Do you understand me? So you can see most of them, they try every possible means not to to get old. Going to gym, they're running, they're eating well. Do you understand? Because they want to be young. They just want to.
Yeah, they want to stay young.
Yeah, they don't want to lose that youthfulness.
And there are some elderly people that haven't lost their youthfulness as well.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying to you. Because they don't want to see other people to see them that they're old. And understand what I mean? And that fear of being alone, that's it. That's what they don't want to be.
Yeah, and the second reason elderly people and people fear being old is the fear of retirement. Some people even say that older people fear this even more than death because of the fear of losing independence, of how much money they can get from their job. And they're also afraid because they fear that they will outlive their savings and investments. They're afraid that they will not have enough savings for their retirement and they won't be able to pay for medical bills and their debt.
Yeah, fear of retirement. When you are young, when you are, for example, you're in 20s, like we said earlier, you have full of life, you know what I mean? So you have ambition, you have a lot of things that you want to achieve. So most times people might not achieve all that they wanted. Sometimes maybe because of illness, sometimes maybe because of accident, and sometimes maybe because of one thing or the other along the line. Do you get me? They can miss out. You know what I mean? So that fear of not having enough money to take care of themselves when they're going to get old, you understand, is part of it. Again, that fear. When they are retired from work, when they're retired in whatever they're doing, even if you watch out some athletes, footballers, do you understand what I mean? They don't feel, some of them when they finish playing football, or when they are retired from football, they start having some mental issues.
They feel that they don't
their life is gone.
There's nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do. So because that fear of what will I do when I'm retired? What will I do when I stop working? What will I do when do you understand? That fear of it's part of it as well. They don't want to be alone. Because
people, and people always want to have something to do. Otherwise, they'll think that their life amounts to nothing.
Nothing. Do you understand? That fear of retirement. So whenever they hear, as they're getting to 40, 45, 50, going to 60, 60, it's fear of that. What will I do when I retire?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? That once they hear that retirement, it's like their life is gone. Do you understand me? So it's part of the reason why most people, they're afraid of getting old. They do everything. If you see that some of them, they are working more. Even they don't you can't even ask them their age because they don't want to hear their age anymore. Do you understand what I mean? So because of fear that they don't want to get retired.
Yeah. On the previous reason you were talking about elderly people going gym, putting on creams and all of that just to make themselves look younger. This is the same as the one that I'm going to talk about now. Fear of having wrinkles or skin conditions. They'll fear it because they want to look young to other people, and they also want to feel young because they know that they're getting older. They also don't want to have wrinkles because maybe it reminds them that they're getting older and they can't stop it. And nowadays, elderly women mostly are known to put a lot of condiments and cream on their faces to make themselves look younger and to lose wrinkles.
Yeah, wrinkles, the thing is that old age is something that you cannot run away from.
Mm-hmm.
Age, when you're born, that's inevitable. You have to grow. When you're not growing, what happens? The parents get worried.
Mm-hmm.
The child is not growing because they expect you to do what?
Grow.
To grow. And that's the reason why they keep on celebrating what? The bad days. They have to grow. Now, getting to, like you said earlier, 20s, 30s, 40s, as you're growing, your body structures start changing bit by bit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? You start changing bit by bit. One of the signs of old age as well, one of the signs that you're getting old is what? Wrinkles. Your faces start changing. It start changing. Maybe some people, based on maybe ill health, like I said earlier,
mm-hmm. or their genes
as well, they grow older before this.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter how it is, whether you're rich or poor, you get to a stage whereby it starts showing your face, you start having those wrinkles and all that. And that is the reason most people don't like that. They can spend any amount of money not to do it, to see wrinkles, because it reminds them what? That they're getting old, and they're scared of that. So some people, they do surgeries.
Yeah, they do everything.
They do everything. They can look younger. They spend a lot of money in order for them to their faces to be what?
Young.
Be young. They don't want to lose that youthfulness, like we said earlier.
Mm-hmm. Even though they're inside of them, it's still getting older.
It's getting older, but if just two people see them, they don't want people to see them that what? They're getting old.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Because of fear of getting old. Do you understand? So they spend any amount of money to make sure that they
don't get old, that they don't look old.
Yeah, they keep young and all that. And you see, if you go to gym, you see a lot of elderly people. Mm-hmm. They're working out. They're doing everything. They're running If you go outside, they see a lot of people. Even their older ones, they're running every morning.
Cycling.
They're eating. They're doing why? Because they don't want to.
They don't want to look.
They don't want to feel.
They don't want to feel
that they're getting old. Mm-hmm. Understand? So, and most of them, you see, they tell you, "I'm eating healthy." Do you understand what I mean? Because the more inside of them they're feeling, they're getting old. What comes in their mind is what?
That they're getting old.
They're getting old. Again, what happens?
Yeah.
In retirement, they don't want to stay alone. Do you understand what I mean? Those kind of things, the fear that comes into them. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, and the last one is fear of death. This is a common fear for the elderly because they fear the end of their life, and also they start to feel very anxious because of that. Once they start getting to the age where they start getting sick and ill, they get very scared.
When you said why are people afraid of getting old?
Mm-hmm.
So when someone hit that old age, like we said earlier, all of these things what we said it before, retirement, staying alone and everything. The bottom line of it is what? The next thing that comes to mind is what? They're gonna live this life, isn't it? They're gonna die. You're old. What's the next step for you?
Death.
And that brings shivering, brings fear to a lot of people. So
because they don't know what's gonna come.
No, so they don't want to get. Do you understand what I mean? Because old. If you watch out, even some women, it's hardly can ask a woman what's her age.
Yeah, you're not gonna. They're not gonna tell you the real age.
Do you understand what I mean? They don't. It's hard for them because it reminds them what.
They might pass away.
They're aging. They're getting old. Do you understand? So, oldness and old age is something that people like. Once they think about old age, the next thing that comes to mind is what? Death. And that brings fear. It brings shivering to people's life. So they're scared. They're very much scared. And you can see that to some people, that fear of getting old has become sort of phobia to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can hear some people say that I have this phobia from young age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I experience a lot of things.
I don't want to get old.
I don't want to get, you know, I have a lot of fun between my ages and all that. I'm getting older.
And some of them could even be like 18, 16, and they feel that at that young age.
They feel in that young age. They have that anxiety. You understand what I mean? They got that anxiety attack of getting old and dying, you know. They feel in that dying steps in that gives them that sleepless night. They start thinking, what? They're just young. They've not even experienced anything in life. Do you understand what I mean? But like I said to you, because maybe people around them,
I was thinking about it as well.
Because they seen their elderly, their grandma or grandpa.
Maybe they passed away or they're getting sick.
So it's bring that fear. So they don't want. You can't ask them their age because once they tell you their age, you understand what I mean? It's reminding them that they are getting old. Do you understand what I mean? So, well, what can you do? It's a natural phenomenon. That's something that have to come. That's something that you can avoid. All you have to do is to live life.
Yeah.
Why should you be scared? Why should you be afraid of something that will happen? You just enjoy your life daily. Enjoy the good things around you. Enjoy the things that
just do everything that will make you happy.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of welling down there thinking about death, thinking about retirement, thinking about all the stuff. Yeah, it's good to prepare, to plan ahead and get yourself. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what we discussed in one of our podcasts. Do you understand what I mean? Prepare for your old age.
Yeah.
Prepare for your retirement. Do you understand what I mean? Prepare all those kind of things when it happens. Do you understand what I mean? That the people around you will not suffer. Do you understand what I mean? So those are the things you can like put together. So all you have to do is to live life. Try to be the best that you can, unless that you don't want to die early, or unless you don't die early. Old age is inevitable.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
And don't forget that family is everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.